Hello and welcome. Welcome to this water and fire blessing talk that I've been guided to speak about. So, I had mentioned yesterday on the last live that I wanted to share some pictures, some photos, some experiences, and something that I'm very passionate about sharing how to create some tangible ways to work with water element, to work with the fire element, to bring in more. Hey, I just emailed you, David. To bring in more balance into our lives, into our communities, into the elements. So those of you that work with elements, or those of you who would like to deepen your practice with them, with the waters, with the sacred waters, with the land, with the fires, this is a good way. I'm going to bring in some insight. I'm going to bring in some practical advice that you could use, easy, practical, spiritual ways that you can implement in your daily practice, or just if you feel called intuitively to help work the waters, work with the waters, work with the ley lines, work with grid points in the physical type of manner, and and create some type of synergy and balance within the elements, within your own lives, and then also within creation. So what you're looking at right here, this is sacred land of the Chumash tribe, and this land is known as an elven forest. So small trees, it's a little hiking area. Thank you. And so all this land right here that you're looking at started to get flooded from the melting glaciers in the Atlantic. So all the water has receded over 6 feet, creating rivers and streams and creeks. And they said in time it will flood even more. So this is off the coast of California. It's a beautiful sacred land. This is all sacred land. Ritual prayer work has all been done here by this tribe, the Chumash tribe. This is the elven forest. Very beautiful sacred trees, as you can see, very vortexy. And so 1,000 years ago, they would travel here, this tribe, to assist in their monthly prayers and gathering with the herbs, with medicines and whatnot, and build shelter. This is a little write up here. I'm not going to keep it up too much. It's just what this girl, she would travel and how she's seen it through this child's eyes, wandering through how she would help her mother bring wind to help bring in the bushes and make basket weaving with her mother. And she said that the great eagle holds up the world above. This is what her father would tell her. So she would enjoy her father's story and said that we were part of 3 worlds. The great eagle holds up the world above, he said, spreading his wings to change the face of the moon. 2 giant serpents support the world below. When they move, the earth shakes. We live in the middle world, an island surrounded by the ocean. So what a beautiful description by her Chumash father of the 3 worlds. Another picture of the tree. So I'm showing you these. There's a lizard. So this is how they would prepare their meals and have like little ceremonies. All of this was in this land. It's very visible here. So this right here, it kind of just shows a description of the waters and how the waters have flooded over the years, and 15,000 years ago, 12,000, 10,000 years ago, and how it's really, those sea levels have affected it. There was one description, I think it's this one right here. So, mother has been telling me this story for 12 years, ever since I was a baby. No one knows what started the flood, mother said, but the rains came so fearlessly that soon even the mountains were swallowed up by the water. Only the spotted woodpecker's son's nephew survived, perched atop the world's tallest tree, and he called to the sun, "Save me, I'm drowning." Fortunately, the sun's two daughters heard, and the sun held its torch low, making the waters recede. Then the sun threw acorns to the hungry woodpecker, who ate them and felt content once more. So look at that land. So it's flooding. And so one of the things that I'm called to do or share is not just this story, because it's such a cute, beautiful story. Thank you guys for staying on here with me. It's a really beautiful, cute story on this, but it also addresses some concerns and the environment, that we can bring in balance as healers. We can bring in more balance through the grids, and also sacredness, and bring it in the acknowledgement of the sacred lands and the tribes and the indigenous people that have lived here and created sacred ceremonies for their families for many, many years. So all of this is all preserved, and it's very rare to have so much land like this preserved. But there is, there's awareness that needs to be brought in to us, and how may you help where you are, even if you're just, you're at another state or another country. How can you help with the balancing of the waters, of the fires? Because right now we have a lot of fires in California. There's still fires in the Amazon. So, working with this and bringing balance within yourself and internally as well as externally. So internally, I'm going to start there. We can always do our inner work, going to other healers for assistance, also doing some breath work. Thank you guys. Doing some breath work, pinpointing certain areas where you can feel like maybe restricted, or energy centers in the body that are asking for some release, and just kind of focusing on them, watching the thoughts and being the witness of that, and asking, okay, how may I assist you to be released, or how can this be released from me more easily? And the body has its own intelligence, and it'll start bringing in some of that release, right? So that's one way, through your physical body, to assist our Mother Earth, since as within, so without. Another way that we can assist is, of course, by eating clean food and all that good stuff, and making sure that your food and your resources are of the right source. And other ways, which I really like, is bringing in water and rocks from one water source, so either from a river or from a stream, to the ocean, and then bringing some rocks from the ocean, and not your own rocks. I'm not talking about like crystals that you have. I'm talking about going to the actual river, picking up rocks from the river, and taking those rocks to the ocean or to a stream. Then taking the stream rocks from the stream, not keeping them yourself, but just being in good communication with the elements, of course, doing some prayer work while you're there, and taking those rocks from the streams and from the oceans to the rivers and whatnot. So we want to restore balance. And how you do that, because the rocks, of course, everything's alive, it has memories. That creates a grid. It creates a grid line that assists. So right now we are at a place, or in a place where a lot of frequencies are distorted. So this will also assist you. I've been daydreaming about rock exchange from different locations recently in meditation. I'm so glad I'm here listening to you. Oh, great, Dustin. Yeah, I mean, I have been putting this out like telepathically through the grids, like through the monad, through our group. So I'm glad you're picking up on that message. So yes, the teachings are being taught in other dimensions. So Dustin just explained that he received this teaching through a daydream. So that means, Dustin, that you're tuning in to what we are, you know, going to be sharing more and more. So there's tribes that talk about this practice as well, and what they do. The water like speaks, it speaks its own language. Fire speaks its own language. The elements speak their own language. So the more that we can be in good relation with all the elements, the better that we can the better that we can assist, within your own energy field and within our mother, within the earth. So yes, taking those rocks and sharing them with one resource to the other. Just remember, like, it doesn't have to be like a fancy clear quartz or anything like that. It's just the natural stones and rocks from the river, the natural stones and rocks that are native to the oceans as well, and just exchanging that in harmony and with respect. And when you go, you don't just pick them up and take them. You pray and you offer either song or your vibration, your healing vibration, whatever it is that's calls to you. If it's a hum, oftentimes I'm in nature a lot, and it's just my heart song just kind of comes out. Or if it's that, then allow yourself to drop into that. Allow that sacredness to come out and be that expressiveness through you. Allow it to express itself through you. Your spirit to express itself through you. And if you're needing assistance and healing, nature is the greatest way to do that. And why not assist her by doing this little extra practice in there, taking those stones and exchanging them with each other. And it's actually very fun, and you will be taken to many places that will bring excitement and living the light code, within your own being. And it's a very amazing, beautiful thing to do. Another way that we can do this, and this is another form of prayer, is just offering the water and the earth some herbs. So if you have herbs that you grow, it could be sage, it could be rose petals, it could be even dirt from your own backyard, and you could do that too. Dustin says, she reintroduced us to parts of us we forgot. It's only equal energy exchange to do so. Yes, exactly. Funny, I always start humming. Yes, good. Yes, so humming is great. The sound vibration that we all carry, it's heard throughout the universe, the multiverse. There's different levels of the frequency bandwidth that we're all calling out to. So it's just, when you're allowing yourself to drop in, once you go into the current of the vibration that is around you in any form of nature that you find yourself in. And so you drop into that, and sometimes it's a hum that somebody expressed that they do, and the humming is the way of just letting the universe and Mother Earth know that you're there. How can you reconnect with Mother Earth, especially when you feel disconnected and unmotivated and don't have a community to do this with anymore? Well, Natasha, just like I said, I'm speaking about how you can do that. And once you've built the relationship within the elements, working with water, for instance, on its own, and just feeling that vibration, and just continuing to go there and allowing the waters to assist you into releasing the burdens that you carry and surrendering to that, and surrendering also to where you are in your path right now, because there is a time where we do feel very alone, but we have to remember that there is an intelligence that we are all part of. We're all part of a very sacred intelligence, and this intelligence, which you can call it God, universe, consciousness, whatever word you want to use, but there's an intelligence that knows exactly where you need to be at the exact time, and you will be placed there accordingly. And, as long as you're just continue to do, this is a suggestion that I do suggest that you implement, Natasha, especially if you're feeling lonely, that you want to create more balance and harmony and bring in this life. Yeah, so Dustin suggested laying on the floor with his belly to Mama and talking to her and listening to her. She usually sends messengers. Yes, that's perfect, Dustin. Yes, so it's going to be a beautiful relationship, Natasha, and please trust that. Make an offering to the water. Yes, exactly, David. You've been tuning in to me a lot lately, so I'm not surprised that you guys are getting these messages. Yeah, so it's going to be a very beautiful relationship, Natasha. Just please trust that, and trust that it is, it's happening accordingly. You're not going to be alone forever. And any of you that are listening that feel the same way that Natasha feels, alone and, without community, it's coming. It comes, and it's in the most beautiful, sacred way. Just keep on trusting, keep on praying, keep your faith over fear. And, as our light grows, know that it's just strengthening and strengthening, and continue to strengthen that and speak light over you, either through affirmations or through the word. Sometimes I really like listening to the word of God and really affirming that over my life, so using that to create the momentum that you need to create in your life to allows the shift to occur. There's many breath work practices as well that will help you if you can study or you find an elder. If you're looking for an elder, just ask and you shall receive. It will always come. We're always provided for. So, and same thing with the fire too. So to work with the element of fire, we talked about water, and I'm going to talk about fire. Yes, this is a community, exactly. Like David said, this is a community. It may not be like in the physical, but it still helps. And we are still communicating with each other in the other realms. So if you believe, just believe, open yourself up to that extra like awe and wonder, and we meet up in the other realms, and we talk and we share stories and we share teachings and what we can do. This is often where people like intuitively, I found this, or I had this vision. It's because you're tuned in to the frequency, you're tuned in to that channel to receive those messages, to receive them, from each other and from the collective. So the higher vibration that you raise, the more tuned in that you'll be able to be at a higher level of consciousness, and then receiving that type of information so it can serve you in your highest and best way. We're all here to help, so we got to make sure we're raising up and assisting. Yeah. Yes, fire. To work with the fire as well, fire is a very delicate manner. I haven't really worked with too much fire right now because there's fire everywhere. But I have just imagined just the water coming through and it transmuting and transforming whatever it needs to do at this time. But, when you are going to work with fire, you can light a candle and ask to receive its messages, because the warmth of fire, it can help to open up the heart just by gazing at the flame. So simple practices like that can really open the heart, and also realize or make the eyes see that you are light, and that light emanates from you in a multitude of streaming light, and how the light streams to you in a multifaceted way. So if you do a meditation staring at the candle glaze, that's an activation that you can receive to open that up and open the heart. And it also opens the eyes. Now, if where you live, it is safe to burn fires, get yourself some firewood, and you could do prayer with the fire. And same thing, you want to bring the fire a little herbs, some herbs. You want to bring the fire some type of essence. We could use copal, we could use sage, you could use Palo Santo, anything that you're going to bring in some prayer medicine. That's what that's called. That's what I call it. Some prayer medicine, some dried lavender even, and place that at your heart. And let that heart vibration, let the heart prayer of your own self, your own signature, go into those herbs, go into that medicine, and hold it there at your heart so your intentions are pure from the heart, and you could give that, offer that to the prayer, to the fire, and if we're praying for the fires to, dwindle as soon as possible, we're asking for this to happen, we could just continue to communicate with the fire in that way. Let's make sure the fires diminish as soon as they're done, that they don't continue. A lot of the reasons why the elements are off balance is because of the corruption, as you guys know, because of the density that we're in, but we are also shifting through it. So oftentimes it gets worse before it gets better. And we are here for this reason. We're here for this shift. So we are called here to be the warriors of the light, to be that which makes those vibrational changes within ourselves, within the mental, physical, emotional bodies. And then it also represents our Mother Earth, the Gaia. So she is a massive, beautiful healer, but also she's asking for some change as well. This morning I woke up with, it felt like fire in my belly, fire in my solar plexus. And oftentimes for me, it's like, okay, we're burning something off for one. Another, we're activating. And then, what is this energy and how is it trying to work with me right now? Stepping into more power frequency from the sun, and then allowing that to grow. So also working with the sun will be very beneficial to receive the sun codes. Sun carries the fire frequency as well. And the sun can penetrate anything that you're going through, the mental chatter, just gazing at the sun early in the morning. You only have about 5 to 10 minutes to gaze safely at the sun rise and then the sun set. So these are two very beautiful practices to do. The sunrise will teach you about new beginnings and how the sun always brings us new beginnings. And every moment that we get to choose and we get to honor the new beginnings. If we get stuck in a certain thought pattern or loop, that there's always a sunrise there to help you start new in your thoughts and your mind. Now with the sunset, the sun setting helps us with the endings, and it helps us to say goodbye to old things, peoples, and patternings. So we could say, wave goodbye whenever you see a sunset, wave goodbye to those people, and just imagine them passing by, going to the sunset, going into the light with gratitude and a gracious heart. So those are practices that will be very beneficial to bring in more light and to assist you in your practices in communicating with nature, communicating with the sun and the elements, so yeah. So yeah, destroys depression, the sun gazing. Sun gazing does so much. There's so many light codes that are coming off of the sun right now, and it's very transformative. And honestly, David, I don't think it's your depression. I think it's maybe others that you're carrying around you. So I wouldn't even own it as yours. So when we get to that, like that pure state, you know, and we're emanating that, oftentimes we think that what we're carrying is ours, when oftentimes it's what we're transforming through the collective. Yeah. Okay, so healing your element of fire, it's weak because you have, okay, so, well, I don't think that's a weakness, honey. I think that is some strength. So I think I would first change your thought forms about your relationship to fire, and also work with a little bit of fire. Fire helps with releasing attachments as well. So it's really good to get in right relationship with that. Yeah, VC says, how much of this is mine? Exactly. Yeah, and thank you guys for tuning in. But you know, like I said, try those little suggestions, looking and in a very simple way, like I had mentioned before, if you want to connect or heal with the element of fire, just gaze at a candle flame. It's a very simple way to do it. It's one of the most simple ways to work with it, especially if, you know, I can't light fires right now. I can't work with fire right now, which I love to work with fire, like making a fire pit and feeding the fire. But I will be working with like a candle gazing, for instance. Oh, that's cool. Cloud dragons. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. So remember that, you know, yeah, ask if whatever you're feeling, is this mine? You know, whose is this? And try to step into more of that witness. So you are the witness. Being the witness brings us into a more empowered state where we're not really identifying with, oh, this is mine. Oh, you know, where you're getting kind of lost in that energy frequency. And so when you kind of can shift that and become the witness, which it takes practice to get there. So becoming the witness and just kind of asking, who feels this way? Who feels that my connection is weak to XYZ? You know, what part of me feels this way? And then asking that as well can assist in releasing. But you have to also find what works for you. These are suggestions that some things that I use. But, you know, the elements is something that everybody can use. So whatever works for you and healing those different aspects, you know, find that particular part for you. Yeah, so Sky 5D says, another suggestion is look for your guides and elements in the clouds in the sky. Yeah, I love cloud medicine. You guys have seen my cloud medicine before. Looking for your guides, you know, any type of animal spirit guides is very beautiful. Awesome. I had a beautiful dragon cloud too on my Instagram. Beautiful. My sky is 5D. I'll have to check that out. So you've had a phobia of candles. Yeah, so it's just bringing in that awareness to it, and just, you know, like I said, I don't think it was you that was scared of what happened. It could have been just your inner child or just that part of you. Yes, dragon energy is one of those, you know, dragons, and just like any other animal totem, would be in the 4 directions. So there's 4 directions. There's 4 elementals of dragons: air dragon, fire dragon, earth dragon, water dragon. So if you guys work with those type of dragons energy, this is very powerful energies. the vortexes and stuff, that also comes from like the Magdalene type of code. Also, who else? What other energy? Kuan Yin as well. Yeah. Yeah, salt lamps can replace a candle if you're scared of lighting a candle, or you could do like a electric candle if you don't want fire. Okay, so you feel it was a lower astral. Just try to raise your vibration a little bit more. Breathing, like I said, doing some affirmations so you're getting your mind right so you can open up to that. Yeah, the Magdalene and Kuan Yin work beautifully with dragons. So that dragon energy. So, but if you're scared to work with something, maybe start with something a little bit more simple. You could start with a rose, a red rose. Red brings in the warmth and healing energy of fire, and it also helps to remove lower energies as well. So the essence and the scent of the rose, you know, the red can represent fire. You could say this red rose represents a fire element, and just getting in touch and in tune with the subtle softness of a rose before you explore, you know, other spirit guides if you're not, if you don't feel safe or if you feel uncertain about it. If I get a look at it, I'll put it on my Cosmic Hot Dragon playlist. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So it sounds like you have a really great relationship with the sky energy. Yeah, place hands, solar plexus chakra to open your fire energy. Yeah, yeah. The root also, in elemental tantra, the root is your fire energy. So, but yeah, so here's a little bit of more pictures of this land. These are the little statistics that are there. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Beautiful land. Lots of healing energy. Thank you guys. So lots of messages that came through. And, you know, those of you that are just starting on the path, you're going to have to do something that's going to eliminate the fear from within. And getting in touch with nature is one of the best ways to do it. Yeah, so yeah, and it is about getting out of that negative narrative. So we definitely have to transform that negative narrative and rewrite your subconscious beliefs. You know, it's so important that we work with that subconscious, because we don't know how much programming we're holding in the subconscious until you really dive deep into the subconscious, until the subconscious like shows its face to you. It's like, oh wow, no wonder I have this. No wonder this is coming up. No wonder this fear is here, you know? So, yeah, I'm glad you guys are all connecting on here, conversating beautifully. Thank you for coming on. Okay, yeah. So you're going at it, you know, you're still new too, so you're fresh. So facing some of those fears and going in the right direction. Yes, see you on Lana's stream. Yes, I'm gonna be on Lana's stream soon. Lana, Medicine Woman, is having a live stream, I think in about 30 minutes. I will be over there too, just kind of tuning in and being part of the collective. Yeah, I also take a lot of cloud pictures of the cloud. I love sky medicine. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Lana, if you guys want to head over, she'll be on at 2 o'clock. So I'm in California. So it's, I think it's like about 30 minutes or so from now. She'll be on at 2 o'clock doing her talk. And she's going to have an incredible, probably download and some messages as well. But I'm glad you guys all were able to get some beautiful practices. If you need to listen to this again, listen to this again. And awesome. Yeah. There's a lot of videos out there on learning light language. So, try to look for as much free information that you can, and then, learn. And then you could work with someone to help activate you later on. But I'd just suggest to look at the videos first before you go ahead and purchase things, because there's so much free things, so many free options for you guys, so much information that's out there for free. So utilize all the free stuff. And then when you feel guided, the right healer you'll work with that healer or that person to assist you, to activate you, to assist you in whatever it is that you need. So thank you, Love Light Shining. Thank you, you guys. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the sky is great medicine. You have sky medicine, so that's good. I love working with that as well. So you guys had seen many of my cloud pictures, many of them, and it's incredible what kind of transmission that the sky brings. So this is what Sky's 5D, my Sky 5D is talking about how the sky emanates, the clouds can emanate a certain transmission and that vibrational activation through the sun and through the sky, through the clouds. So that's another way that you could work with the elements. That's the element of the sky, the water and air together would be clouds. Yeah. So yes, lots of activations. Lots of activations. So everyone's going to be activated differently. So, and not everyone's at the same space. Some people are just starting. Heart clouds. Oh, I love heart clouds. Yeah, I love that too. Cloud watching. So, all right, you guys, I am going to head off of here. Yeah, faces and stuff. Yeah, one time, I'm gonna share one more thing with you guys since we're talking about clouds. It's a really cool experience that I had with the clouds. So one more with the clouds. So one day I was watching the sunrise, and this was during the fires. So the skies right now have cleared up quite a bit. But during this time with the fires, the sun was like a blood orange when it rose. It was really gnarly to watch it rise through all the smoke. And it was rising one morning through the clouds. Through the clouds, there was a couple layers it was rising through the clouds with. And so it was like transforming. It was showing me, when you watch the sun a lot, it teaches you a lot. And so it was showing me the different layers of consciousness that we're rising up through. And then it was also showed me a dragon through the clouds and through the sun. The cloud was saying the fire dragon is basically here, and this is what's going on, and it's an imbalance. And then, or balance, depending on which way you want to view it, and or creating balance. And then it went through another phase. Through the last phase that I saw that was rising through the clouds, all the clouds looked like animals. You know, they were going to the place they needed to go to be the spirit animals. So meaning that these animals had passed. So I seen bears, I seen lots of them just kind of all in alignment, all lining up and heading down that path, down that way. So, you know, so that was really beautiful experience that I wanted to share with you guys about clouds, since we were talking about that, and, you know, the animal medicine that shows up. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. I'm glad to help you. Yes. So we are all doing the very best that we can. Know that. And we are in a very transformative place right now. And we are all elevating to that higher place. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Many blessings. I will be part of the community on Lana's channel, just listening in. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay on her channel, but definitely pop in for a little bit over there. So I'll see you guys later. Stay in touch, and I'll also touch base with you next week. We have the full moon in Aries. It's a very powerful time. Okay, all right, you guys. Thank you so much. Many, many blessings.